this new moon in Aries soul guidance reading for the month from April to the 11th of May, which will be actually new moon in Taurus. So this new moon in Aries brings us a lot of energy, as there are a lot of planets actually in Aries as this new moon, which falls on the 11th, depending on what part of the world, and the 12th for those who are in London and in Europe, GMT time at 03:30, early hours of the morning. So obviously you won't be seeing the moon because it's a dark moon, which means there'll be no moon up in the sky. But that said, there are plenty of stars out there, and it is a new moon for you to make strong intentions with the view to actually start moving your life forward. That's what the Aries new moon normally and certainly is about. But this new moon still comes with a lot of different energies. There are some squares in the astrological mapping, and I don't want to get too technical on the astrology because this is not what my readings are about, but I certainly do take them into account, and I I won't say expect the cards, but certainly have the cards to help out, to inform those who are listening, and myself included, what the energy of this new moon for the next 4 weeks will bring us. Now, also to clarify, I do feel that we still are in a very strong energy from the full moon at the end of the month, which was actually, I can't remember what date it was here. I don't have it recorded. But anyway, I did talk about collaborations and to see things with insight. Okay, the insight means the sight from your heart, to really start checking out with seeing people's actions, listening out for people's words, and really paying attention. And I really feel I can't help but actually reaffirm that message. And that is still very much as the full moon goes over the new moon from each cycle. Yes, so if the last full moon was at the end of March, it is going on to the end of April. And we do have a strong full moon coming up, a very intense full moon in Scorpio, which I won't go into now. But essentially, this is a really important time that while collaborations was very much encouraged, and I still believe that this is the theme for many of us that we're moving into, it is about discernment. So that's the first thing I will say. And the first card that actually opened up, now all these cards are actually down, face down, bar one, and one of my chakra cards, which happened to open just now by itself because it was propped against the my iMac. But the first card, as we come into the month, the key message here is discernment. So there you are. Okay, and I also happened to have it for my message that I received in prayer, as I always ask before I draw the cards out for the reading. So I really want to affirm that this card, I feel, is really key, and I've been getting this feeling as well. So really it's a discernment as to which direction you're going to go in, which way are you going to go, what decisions are you going to make. And I really feel there's lots of us who are at that juncture where you've come possibly to a crossroads maybe, or at a place where you need to start making a decision, okay, or moving forward, but it will require a choice and a decision that you're going to have to make, okay? But it is very important that you actually pay attention and don't get deluded by other people's input or pressure from other people. What it is really important for you is actually to be able to, if you see her eyes are covered right now with the clouds, and I feel that this is a space we're in. We're dealing with the unknown, and we don't really know at what point we need to move forward or what point we need to make the decision. So I really feel that it is actually until you get to that place in that moment, then would you make the decision, okay, which is going to actually bring me to my message that I got, which says here, I'm going to take this off, be here now, take it step by step. It is your timing and not of others. So you might be sharing with some people about what you're thinking of and planning to do, and you're going to get an input, boom, all right, from some people. They're going to race in with their opinion. People can't help it. All right, a lot of people can't help. It could be a family member, it could be somebody you live with, it could be a good friend of yours. And most people, in my experience, really don't take a moment to actually just listen and give you and carve the space for you to perhaps just share your thoughts while you're mulling over things. People are very quick to give you their opinion about what you need to be doing. So it is really important that whatever happens, this new moon and the energies leading up to the new moon, I'm actually recording this today on the 5th of April, which is pretty early for me, but I'm doing this because I know that these energies are quite intense. And as we're coming up into this new moon as well, it is a time for discernment. It is a time for also to getting your balance and you're checking in with yourself, which actually brings me to the next message: balance and discernment, and only then move forward. Okay. And interesting, I kept on getting this twice, which I tried to shrug off at the end, which I will share now. But anyway, fight your corner. So that message could be for somebody. Maybe somebody's telling you what to do, and you're kind of thinking, oh, maybe they're right, maybe they're not, or somebody has said something to you to question yourself. Okay, this is really important that you hold on to your power and you fight. What I mean by holding on to your power, you fight your corner. So you stand up for you. Okay, you do not abandon yourself. All right, I will come back to this message, but the overall message here that was inked out as a prayer, I always ask for an intention of the best message that I could offer prior to the cards. And I'm often amazed actually how they really correlate to the cards that come out as well. And I say this with genuine sincerity. So because this is part of the fun, okay? I get this message and the rest of the cards are telling me what I need to do. Okay, so coming back to the first card, we've got the card of discernment here. Okay, so I also feel that this is a really, if you notice as well, she's holding a globe in her hand there. There's an energy field. And this is while it's from the heart chakra. Like I said, the last message last month was very much about be insightful, see and hear from your heart. So I think this is where the power is as well. All right, so it's really important that you intuit into a decision, okay? But at the same time, sometimes when we think, but coming from a heart, it's very much about being very over heartfelt and over giving, okay? This is not about overextending yourself on behalf of other people. This is about you really holding your own and being powerful enough in your own center, but coming from a place of heart and what will nurture you and what will give you what you need. Okay, I've chosen this deck again, which is a new deck for me, which I used for the first time last month. And it is from the Queen of Moon Oracle, which I love. There's the box. I didn't actually show it to you last time. And it's by Stacey DeMarco. Yeah, DeMarco. Okay, so I love these cards and they're just beautifully illustrated, and I'm still kind of learning to read from them intuitively. But there you go. So this is really a card, like I said, so opening the stage of this new moon is about discernment. All right. Now, also, I've got here, interestingly, a card. Now, I've turned around. This is a card of the soul journey growth. So this could be envy. So be careful for anything that you might find that you're envious about. So don't let your possibly envy. I'm the same as everybody else, but with different challenges. So again, it's really important. Maybe you discern at this point what information you're taking in. What are you looking outwardly and thinking, oh, well, well, they're doing it like this, or they're doing it like that, and maybe I ought to be doing it like that. And maybe that's not really how it fits you. All right. So really be careful as to what element of choices you're making and where it's coming from. And this is where it comes from, that key word, not only for this card, discernment, but I feel also being discerning. Okay, what works and fits for another person doesn't mean to say it's going to fit and work for you. And particularly at the moment, because there's a lot of information that's going out and about, and there's a lot of noise through the, through all the social media platforms. And it is actually very much harder to stay centered and stay kind of aware of what's really is for you, rather than going with what the masses are going through or what other people are doing. All right, so this is the energy we're also coming into. All right, so here I've got a card of resistance and service. Okay, so I really want to also bring these two together. It is really important that, again, you're not holding on too tightly. Now, if you're being moved to do something and offer your services to the world, pay attention to that. All right, and then there could be a certain form of resistance as well on your part. Maybe you are letting old growth, maybe old projects that you've done that you're holding on to, and you're not releasing it. Okay, this could also mean resisting maybe some people, some partnerships you've been working with, or certain projects you've been working with, and now you know that they're actually actually not working for you. What's important is that your service needs to be to yourself. I'm sorry, the sun is really strong through the window here. And it is really important that you bring your sense of offering to the world, to what speaks to you. Okay, and if you notice, there's two colors here, actually, and also here as well. It's both green and yellow. Now, they're both the heart chakra color for the green, and yellow for the your personal power. And even in this particular drawing here, right at the center of the green flower, or the lotus, if you like, is a centered core. Now, it is really important that we always come from our center. And I personally really believe our sort of personal empowerment chakra really is, you know, from the power center with heart. Okay, it's really important, and that's really where our power is. Okay, some of you actually might be getting some news about some lucky opportunity could be coming through. So be careful that you do not hold on too tightly without actually making any exploration or checking it out. It's really important that you do allow yourself to go out of your comfort zone and maybe explore certain options. Okay, so at this point, do not resist anything that is coming your way, but take step-by-step action, if you like. And do not rule anything out, but do check them out till you come to a point that where you realize that this is not for me, or a dead end, or for something that you actually want to bring in and serve your skills and talents. Yeah, skills and talents. I'm not seeing any love issue here with this new moon. This new moon, I really feel, is very much about the action, the kind of dynamic to do with our service, as well as our choices to do with our work, and how we want to actually be showing up in the world. Okay, yeah, and I think it's very important to bring love into the situation, in which has been the message sort of coming up to way before, you know, maybe December to January, about bringing elements of love. What do you love to do? What brings you joy? Okay, you know, surrounding yourself with people who make you feel good and make you feel that you're loved as well. So it's really important, and really keeping everything else out that do not really come into that sort of love heart, if you like. Here, this is the chakra card, one of the ones that just opened up. I had to turn it over. Okay, so here we have this, and this is really, really important. Okay, so again, work on your heart chakra, and you see the violet flame right around that heart. Make sure that you draw that heart sort of in your mind's eye around your body, so you can really keep yourself lit up from the inside, really clear as to what you want to do, what brings you joy, who you want in your life, and keeping everything out. Okay, this is an ongoing process. It's never an ending process, but particularly at the moment, as we're still birthing into the new energy, it is going to be quite heated as well. Okay, there's some real energy that's quite conflicting in many areas. We are going to see that quite unexpectedly at the end of the month, okay, on the Scorpio full moon. And that's partly because it's going to be at an opposition or a square, I can't remember which one, but Uranus. Now, Uranus is a planet of thunderstorm, unexpected, and it's quite a biggie. But in the meantime, it's really important that on a micro level that we individually are also practicing and making ourselves strong. This is what these soul guidance readings are about. I'm only interested in the self-evolution, okay, and how you can manage and negotiate your life and yourself through what's going on out there. So if you've got yourself centered, it is very, very powerful for you to do that, because no matter what comes at you, you will have the absolute intended clarity and authenticity. And no matter what somebody might say or call you, or even it doesn't mean to say you're not affected by it, but it certainly means that you're actually empowered enough to know that you don't need to take it on. Okay, now the next thing that I really want to bring in is, which I did mention here in my card, is a sense of balance. Okay, I think what's really important as we move, there's some new cards here. All right, I got two cards here at the same time that flew out from the Moon Oracle, and I've got Surrender and Wisdom. And from the Soul Journey card, I've also got Purpose. So this is the Purpose card here, the Surrender card here, and the Wisdom card here. So let me take a moment to sort of see. So I feel that it's important as we're moving towards our purpose, that there's a sense of balance that you need to really keep centered within your own purpose. Okay, that's really important as well. And whatever that you have no control over, I feel that it is really important that you surrender it. And also, as you're moving forward, for some of you out there as well, if you don't know your way forward, which I think is also pretty much what I said earlier on, that as you're going along your path, we are really dealing with the unknown at the moment. So it's really important that you actually surrender it to the higher power, and even in prayer, possibly to ask to be guided and shown the way and where it is lit up. Okay, here we see a monk, if you like, or somebody quite monk-like. looking at the cliff with the light there, you know, wanting to receive its guidance. This is almost like the Hermit card. So taking time to get stock of yourself and to balance yourself, so you're really clear on what you could be doing to to know what you're meant to do. Because I feel like there's been a massive shift for a lot of people since this whole year of COVID. We've all had time to recalibrate, review, rethink. You know, a lot of our work has sort of fallen deadpan, or for some it's been a struggle, or some it's been an opportunity to take stock and actually sort of reflect and think. And this is a really good time to do that in order to get rebalanced. So do take your time in taking some reflection, okay? I also feel here as well that it is really important with this card of wisdom here, that it is something that you already know in some way, that the knowledge is actually within you, and it could be also an experiential wisdom, okay? So take that with you, take what you've learned in the past, take what you've, how you've grown from the past into the future. This is really important that you start taking what you've learned as well, okay? And for some of you as well, you might actually be learning new, maybe learning getting new information, going back to school or signing up to a course. Getting some more knowledge also could be serving you to take you to the right place, if you like. All right, whatever you decide to do, your wisdom that you've either gained, or the wisdom you're going to gain, or the research or the knowledge that you're going to gain, is going to take you to a bigger place, if you like, a bigger station in the world, or certainly take you to somewhere that you've not been before, okay? And you don't know where that is yet, all right? You don't know what that exactly looks like. It's not exactly revealed, and I'm looking at that, and I can see in some way that there's these small, tiny buildings in the background through the fog or the mist, okay? And we can't see the form of those buildings as well, but it could be somewhere that you were able to go and express your creativity, when I say creativity, I really talk about your life expression, okay? So it's not necessarily an art form, you know, although I believe art, our lives are an art form, so you're crafting your own life, again, like, you know, but it's more about your self-expression, your talents and skills, where they will be appreciated, okay? And also in some way, some of you also could be going to begin to get recognized for your work. Okay, but either way, just make sure that you're actually reaching for something that you've always wanted, and that is going to give you emotional happiness. All right, so let's move into what, wow, okay. So this card I just turned over, and we've got one of these cards, we've only got one in this position. This is what we're moving to. So some of you are going to get some very unexpected news, an unexpected opening, or an unexpected opportunity. So really do put your intentions out there as well. I mean, in fact, looking at this picture here as well, she's reaching for the stars there, which could also look like a number 22 is a master number there. So really put your intention out, whatever that could be. Just reach for the stars, okay? She's got a hand, you know, moving up towards the sky, starscape there, okay? She's got her back turned to, so maybe she's also, it's about ignoring what other people are saying, you know, and actually reaching for what you want, okay? Don't listen to the dream breakers. There are a lot of people out there who are so overcautious, who have stayed stuck, trapped, because that's what they do. But you've got to remember, you know, that you do not need, it is really important to get counsel from the right people, and certainly to go towards people or move towards sharing your ideas towards people who can really hold your ideas and who are interested in your personal development in terms of you evolving and going forward. But be mindful as to who you might share your thoughts with. And if somebody does counter your thoughts or insist that you need to do it a certain way, you know, just in your mind or in your heart or your being, just thank them for, even loudly, just say thanks for your input. I appreciate your thoughts and your advice. And then you don't need to add to that, and you don't even need to act on that, okay? The only time you need to act on it and move forward with grace is when you know it is right for you, okay? So some of you definitely are needing to use your intuition here, because one of the soul cards, I feel that's, like I said, you're going to get at crossroads. So it is really important that you use your intuition, okay? Some of you could also be finding that you're at a place where you don't know which way to go. All right, again, intuition is really important, and the only way to get into intuition is to balance yourself. And like I said before in my previous readings, You know, imagine you've got a scale or something, you know, 2 items, different things in your hand, and see which one's the yes and which one's the no, and go from there. But think of it internally in your mind's eye from your heart. Okay, so I also feel that this card, this is a really beautiful card. Well, actually says blue moon here, but it's not correlated to the blue moon, but certainly correlated to this reading, that there will be, by the next new moon, which is the first couple of weeks, and if not certainly by the end of the month, even for some of you, there will be definitely something unexpected showing up that you weren't expecting. Okay, but to walk through it, you know, to walk through is as if, you know, there's that kind of light through the end of the tunnel. So you might not be able to see your way through, but then you can see that there is an opening or a light. So again, for some, the unexpected means you might need to be taking that, making that move towards it, but you can't see your way through. But just trust the feeling, the light that you might be feeling in your body, or the flurry or the excitement, you know, the curiosity. You know, you can always turn back and you can always do a U-turn, all right? But it is really important, and I hear that this card also opened up, flew out as a jumper at the end for this. So again, I reiterate, bring love into the equation, okay? This is not necessarily a love. For some of you, it could maybe mean a new partnership as well in love, all right? But this is also self-love is always key. And when you love yourself enough, you will start making decisions that support you. And I won't say not others, but you can certainly are bold enough to put yourself first and know what you need to do. Very, very important. Here it says, I commit to the practice of seeing all good things in life as well. And again, this goes for the comment I made earlier on about if people were to actually sort of counter you or offend you in any way, or just basically not be supportive maybe in the way you'd like them to be, just know that you're committed to actually seeing it with the eyes of love. But it doesn't mean to say you necessarily have to take any bullshit or any kind of thing either, okay? There's that real discernment there, and that distinction, very important. All right, I've got 2 other chakra cards. There are 3 that wanted to come out, it seems, today. So I'll come to this one first, okay? For me, the key message always with my soul guidance reading is very much about self-mastery. Okay, well, because what is the point of even being life or doing life if you're not going to try and attempt to really get to know who you are and what you're about and mastering yourself? Okay, this is what it's about. We're all on a personal journey. It's not about how another person's behaves. If it is, and they're behaving in an out of order way, you might need to speak up your truth. Every time I say something like that, you know, my throat starts tickling. So I think for some of you, you really need to voice it. Okay, and no matter what anybody says, just sometimes know that they're very manipulative and they can be very kind of I don't know how to put it, like I keep, okay, the word personal has come up. Okay, so again, if somebody gives you a personal comment, you know, maybe through commentary or actually in verbal, just recognize that, you know, that you don't have to wear what they say as truth. And this is where working with the chakras also helps to strengthen your system. Okay, you know, again, I'm not going to go into the chakras because those who actually listen here probably do know about the chakras. And for those who don't know, do look it up. And I will, like I said, be putting chakra meditations on, but this is fine-tuning all your chakras. So it's really a good thing to, I will be putting down, and I won't be doing it for this video, but in the future, I will actually be encouraging you to do a very easy tune-up to your chakras, where you can affirm different affirmations correlated to different themes, if you like, correlated to the energy centers. When you start working with your chakras, you have a strong foundation within yourself. Okay, now the other card, so I really feel that for sure the solar plexus chakra is the key one for the new moon in energy, and it is going to require your personal power. Okay, it does take courage to move forward. It certainly takes courage as we move forward into the unknown. All right, we can't see all the exact solution ahead. We don't know where we're leading to, but use your power here, and also make sure that you are not subjected to any kind of external disturbances, as well as using your internal power to forge your life forward. Okay, so you can actually live purposely as well and in service. Okay, these are the soul cards for this reading, and it's really important that you really get on board and start recognizing how you want to be seen and how you want to move forward. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, of the soul deck, I've got here, actually there was one extra one. Oh my God. Okay, this one popped down and I just turned it over. So this is a card of balance. So, you know, balance is definitely key. And it is amazing that I got both discernment and balance as my personal message, and they've come up in the card reading as well. So it is really important here. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so with judgment, without judgment. And I think this is really key. Okay. You know, just to share a little example as well, what's interesting is, you know, people can really try and rock you, all right, can sort of really have a go or attack you or say things that can really, like, you know, be aware that it is your state of inner harmony and balance that's going to keep you neutral. You might get cross, you might speak out for yourself, but you can also do it so without judgment, okay, without name calling or whatever it is that people do. Okay, you don't come from that place if you can. But I'm always about, you know, making sure that you are in balance as well. Okay, so somebody's always coming at you. Why are you hanging around? Balance it up by moving on, doing something different. Okay, balancing whatever as well. This is about personal balance, you know, and also this new moon is a good new moon also to start making some physical and habitual changes. You know, we're moving seasons, we're all feeling the spring, you know, globally now, I mean, certainly in the Northern Hemisphere. So it's a good time to balance out as well your exercise, your body, you know, and wherever you've been sort of, whether the balance has been tipped, tip it back and make sure you are coming from a place of balance. Now, also doing some sort of physical practice that helps to keep you balanced, but also help to keep your internal mind and your heart in a balanced way. So do make sure that your physical being is being balanced, because that'll help you to embody any of these requirements, particularly discernment, I feel. Okay, now what was interesting as well at the bottom of this deck, which is the moon deck, was power as well. So again, power is one of those things. Now, power also brings a lot of conflicting, particularly for women, about, you know, it's not about becoming a woman in male pants. All right, this is about really owning your inner power, and the only way we can also do that is to clear out any of the be aware what baggage from the past you could be carrying, because that is not somewhere where you become powerful from. Just be noticing where you can reveal who you are by actually allowing yourself to be in your own, like fighting your own corner. I feel here, I'm looking at her, you know, here, and she's just in that, you know, revealing herself, not to afraid, you know, to shine. So this is a time as well for some of you to come out of maybe sort of the background and step forward and really see yourself, you know, maybe actually stepping up and doing things that are uncomfortable for you. Maybe putting a new course on, or maybe doing things more visual, or making yourself known. Okay, so this is one of the messages. I mean, there's many here, but of also to do with this new moon. Now, I was going to go and look at the message at the bottom of this deck as well, and it definitely says growth. It says, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So again, everything really is about serving our growth. All right. So this is also, as you see, the solar plexus. Now with the solar plexus meditation, do go on YouTube, and I will have a look. I will try and put a link maybe to, I have a playlist which will now be up on the screen going across, and it is about owning your power as well. So if anybody's in a dynamic where you're feeling that you're being attacked, or somebody's bullying you, or, you know, where you need to hold you into your power in terms of relating, be it your boss or somebody that you know around you as well, you know, remember, always, it is serving your growth. First and foremost, they're just players in your life that is helping you to grow on a soul level, okay? And whatever you do on a soul level is how you show up on a human level. So that's really important that you know that. The other thing is just make sure that you really, again, the throat chakra color is speaking to me out of this card with the thing. So again, it's really important that in strengthening your solar plexus, you're able to speak your truth, okay? Try not to put a plug on it, okay? Because the danger when you do that is what happens is you end up just exploding or imploding as well, all right? Or you start building resentments up. So it is really important that you are able to speak up for yourself and draw a boundary, and even say, you know what, you don't get to speak to me like that. you know, or I'm not going to accept that. Okay. Now they might counter it with other stuff and maybe name call you, or, you know, or even kind of trigger some kind of, you know, might even sort of say something along the lines of like, oh, you know, you're bipolar, or, you know, you're like this, or you're like that. Okay. This is one way of people who are really repressed, or people who can be attacking in any way, or anybody. It could be, you know, there's a lot of narcissism, and we're going to feel that, we're going to see that a lot more, because the energy is brewing up for an awakening. And so whatever's around you in your life, this is where the discernment has to be. Okay. Now, interestingly, as the final, I decided, I haven't used this card, this deck for a while, which I've already pre-shuffled, is the Sacred Rebel card. And I feel that we're moving into this rebellion time, you know, needing to be rebellious, or certainly bringing the inner out. Okay. Now, what was interesting is as I was shuffled and went to put it on the side, one card that flipped out, so it's a jumper, came out. And this is what I'm talking about: release allegiances. Okay. This is about really letting go people who are bugs. You see that she's got those flies bugging her, and she's sitting there with her head in her arms and stuff, almost kind of giving up. But this is really important, that you release anything that's kind of like a fly, is really irritating. Like, many people really can be irritating. Whatever irritating you as well, it could be something that you eat, it could be something external. You know, notice what is irritating you and really release it. You know, if too much Facebook is beginning to irritate you, cut that out. If somebody around you is irritating you, you know, just make plans to move forward, or to get out, or to move towards. But make sure the intention that you put out for this new moon is very much about also being clear when you make new intentions, being clear about what you don't want. Because when you're really clear about what you don't want, you can then powerfully clarify what it is that you do want and where you want to move towards. Okay, and it's almost like that kind of light at the end of the tunnel. And you might be surprised what you call in a positive way. Okay, so I got one, brilliant. I got one, this card that popped out as I was speaking here. What is already with you? This is really lovely, because it sort of complements this. All right, so some of you actually, I'll come back. Okay, you see that, and I said to you, you already got the wisdom, you've already got the skills, you've already got whatever it is. So this is an opportunity for some of you as well, and probably a large proportion of you listening to this, that you already have what it is for you to shine out in the world, or to express yourself out in the world. And you just got to believe that what is already within you is good enough, and it is out there. Okay, which also brings me to this card of service as well as resistance. You might be resisting actually maybe out of fear of doing something, you know, or maybe you've had some ideas and you haven't actually launched it yet because you're actually afraid of what it takes, or what people do, or what people will say. But whatever it is already within you. Okay, so this is the key, one of the key messages as well I want to share in this new moon reading. All right, and also trust what is already with you. Is like maybe your inner knowing about certain things, maybe your inner GPS about certain things as well. And again, just trust that this is not anybody else's life, but your own life. And this is so important. I can't tell you, all right, because what you've learned in life is different to what other people have learned in life as well. Okay, and so people are going to speak from their stuff, their baggage. It's really important that, you know, you don't go to people who've not actually moved or made changes in their lives and ask them about where you want to go and where you want to do change, because they're going to counter it. They just, you know, because they don't know how to do that or to be that. Okay, so I'm just going to have a quick look here. It says, you hold in your hand that which you seek. In other words, a pair of spectacles you've been rummaging around house for is on top of your head. So in other words, you know, you already have what it takes to go out there. Okay, there's unlimited creative potential. Yeah, it is important for you to know that you already have what you need and what you want. Okay, this does not mean the end of story, although it does ask you to give up the fantasy that a perfect solution lies in the future somewhere. Instead, it asks you to acknowledge that everything necessary for success is with you now. So it is, this is definitely much about trusting that you already know, and also being discerning. All right, don't listen to other people as well. Again, there's a lot of courses out there that people are trying to sell, to you right now, and making you feel that you haven't got enough to actually go and put your plans out there and your work out there and whatever. But just trust, okay? Now, hopefully this reading would have spoken to some of you, yeah, and has resonated with some of you as well. So one more card, I think, to finish. Oh. Okay, I got the card of those two here. Truth be told, again, opening your heart and really seeing with the eyes of your heart, okay? Taking a mask off, really showing up. And if you look at the owl there as well, it's opening up what is already within it. So beyond what is apparent, you have all the solutions of what it is that you really want to show up. And also, I always see this as like an Oscar award, isn't it? But it's about taking a mask as well and just trusting that you can see where it is that you need to go. And I think for some of you, like the unexpected here is a card of blessings. All right, there is something good coming. There is something unexpected. And I'd really love it for those who are actually tuning into this. I do get some comments on directly on my Facebook as well, because it happen to be people I know who actually watch these videos. And thank you so much for watching and listening as well. But just trust that there could be some really unexpected great news coming. So I would actually really love it that some of you can remember maybe any of this message, and perhaps as the month and the next weeks go by, and of course some of this could actually be several months down the line, but I believe that it'll be actually much sooner than that. I feel that this will be something by the end of the month's end, and certainly by the next new moon, that there will be some really great news that where you can be opening up to, I say blocking because there's the other card that popped out, just about building your life, but it is something that's going to take you further for sure, and you're not going to be on your own anymore. Okay, this is about definitely some kind of collaboration and meeting the like-minded people as well to help you along. But this is going to be something maybe you didn't see coming, or could be out of the blue. I've got the image of the Ace of Swords as well as, as a tarot image in my mind. So this unexpected thing is the hand of God coming, but it comes with you co-creating it by putting your intention out there. So I really suggest get a journal for this new moon. Really be clear once and for all, and life is cyclical, but every level that we go up, we get onto the higher level of ourselves, and be really clear about the kind of people you want, the kind of work you want to do, the kind of work you don't want to do, the kind of people that you don't want around you anymore, or the kind of exchange that whatever it is time for you to actually be really clear and put your intentions out there, and don't forget to take it step by step. So almost like a daily act, all right? Take each day as it comes, and it is okay for you to change your mind, but it is really important that you're not rushed into a decision, and which is really important here actually, and by the step by step, really that, and then just make sure that you're listening to your intuition, all right? We only get into indecision when we start trying to force a decision too fast, and when we're not trusting our intuition. Okay, so it's really important that your intuition is brought in and factored in. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave up here. And again, thanks for watching. All my details are below in the description box for any private readings. I offer private readings on tarot and intuitive life guidance. I also offer one bullet wonder coaching for anybody who's got one issue as well, so I can really help you coach through that. I also do Ask Rafah, which is also not a card-based guidance as well, but they're 20 or 30 minutes long. Again, the details are all in my website for any problems you might actually have, be it relationships or personal home life or anything. Okay, so do focus on your solar plexus and any relational issues you might have. I've got a playlist, like I said, so you will find hopefully some meditation that can help you, and I'm hoping to collaborate and make some new videos, short videos for chakra healing, which I really feel are the key tools for self-mastery and certainly strengthening your inner core. All right, lots of love. I will catch you in the next new moon for the Taurus, and at the end of the month in 2 weeks' time for the full moon in Scorpio. So hold on to your hat, so to speak, keep your balance, and do let me know, some of you, if you do get any great news out of the blue, certainly. All right, lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.